Hi guys, so today we're here to talk about 5 steps to improve your cornhole game. So for the first step, we're going to talk about your cornhole stance. There's 3 different stances that people usually stand. We have the people that stand right foot forward, the people that stand left foot forward, and then we also have the people that do stepping. So now I'm going to break down each stance for you so you can pick the right one for you. So we're going to start with right foot forward. This is probably the most traditional way that people start out. The reason people like this is because when you throw a bag, your arm is closest as it can get to the hole. You get probably an extra, maybe a couple inches from standing left foot forward. So that is one upside of right foot forward. Now, this is how I started. It's pretty easy, but I feel like with my background, it just doesn't work as well. It's all about comfortability. Okay, so now we're gonna go with left foot forward. So with left foot forward, this is how I feel most comfortable because this was like pitching a slow pitch softball for me. Yes, you do lose a couple inches, but I don't think it matters too much as long as you stick with one and you get it down. It's really just comfortable and keeps me balanced and facing the hole. And now for the last one is stepping. So the only reason I don't recommend this one is because there's way more moving parts that has to go right for you to get it to the board and get it in the hole. But if you prefer this or if you need a little bit more power, then stepping might be right for you. It's not bad, but I just wouldn't suggest it, but this is what it should look like. So with that being said, I don't think stepping is bad, but also you don't have to take a huge step. Some people just take a little step, some people walk into it. It's just whatever you feel comfortable with. And one of these stands might not even be correct for you. There are some people that stand side by side, but I honestly would not recommend any of that. I'd pick one of the 3 I showed you today, stick with it, get out there and try it, and let's head into step number 2. So step number 2 is gonna be how I grip a bag and actually how I throw and release it. Now there's so many different ways that people grip bags with fingers over, butterfly, 4 fingers, whatever feels comfortable to you, but I'm gonna show you how I grip a bag personally and how I feel like it works the best for me. Okay, so first step, I'm gonna get the bag and I'm gonna balance it kind of in my fingers, more so like right here is where the seam is, just below where my fingers and palm meet. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna shake it and I'm gonna get a good shake so it's firm in my hand. So I'm gonna do that one more time for you guys. Stand it up and I'm gonna grab it and shake it. So my 3 fingers are kind of spread out. I do throw with 3 fingers now. If you watch my flat bag tutorial, I was throwing with 2, but now I throw with 3. On the top, as you can see, my fingers dug in, but it's not pulled in because I feel like pulling in, I'm just less accurate with. So I like to just extend it so it's really meeting my middle finger and my thumb kind of right about there. So what I do is I get it right in the middle of the bag, kind of flick it and get a nice chunk of beads in here, get the butterfly wings. And this is what kind of helps me get the best throw and the best accuracy that I need to achieve the best I can do in my cornhole game. Now that we've seen how I grip it, I'm gonna break down how I release it real quick for you guys. And so once I get a nice grip on the bag, I'm gonna get a stance, shoulders facing the board. I can't stress that enough because I know as soon as you turn your shoulders, then you're all over the place. You wanna get squared away, make sure you're looking at the board. I look at the hole personally, I don't look anywhere shorter than the hole. But this is what it should look like. You get your nice grip, shake it, 3 fingers, thumb pushed out, middle finger connected to thumb, elbow locked, and this is what it should look like. So that is how I grip a bag and I achieve a flat bag, getting your palm up at the end, really making sure you over exaggerate that to get it nice and flat. And let's head into step number 3. All right guys, so step 3 is playing smart. I cannot stress this enough. There's so many opportunities for points that people either try to go for that they shouldn't, and they should just lay up for the 1 or whatever. So let's break it down and let's get into playing smart. So with playing smart, you need to know the points in your head throughout the whole entire round. So if they make 1, add 3 to your head, you make 1, add 3. So now it's 3 to 3. You need to know as the round is going on, what the points are and what's on the board, what's not, what's been made, because then you can make smart decisions on what you need to do. So the next thing is knowing when and when not to take a shot, if it is unnecessary or if you really need the points. Now, I see so many times that there's a blocker on the board right in front of the hole and you have 1 bag in your hand. And a lot of people, you know what they'll do? They go for the push. Now, you really don't need to push this bag in because a 10-10, if you land on the board and a 10-10 is the same thing as a 12-12. And if I'm being honest, you'll see 9 times out of 10, someone try to push this bag in, it goes in and their bag goes off the board or stays on and they end up giving up points. That's an unnecessary shot that you really don't need to take because a 10-10 and a 12-12 and an 8-8 is all gonna be the same. So now, knowing when to take a shot and when not. You gotta know the score of the game and you gotta know the score on the board. Sometimes there's opportunities that you need to know when you need to shoot an air mail over this blocker or if you just lay it behind it and play smart. Now, if you're down by a lot and they're gonna possibly win the game, then you're probably gonna wanna take the airmail and shoot it, and hopefully you make it. But if you're up and it's an unnecessary shot that you need to take, it might better just be wash out the round and give the bags to your partner. Now, if it's a game winner, you might wanna take it to try to close it out early so they can't come back and catch fire. So it's just knowing when and when not to take it, and it's communication with your partner. If he feels comfortable and you feel comfortable, or if she feels comfortable with you, then shoot the shot. But if it's an unnecessary thing to do and you're already up by a lot, or maybe you're holding on and it could cost you the game if you miss, maybe it's not the right time to shoot. So it's on you to know when and when not to take a shot. And those are my tips for playing smart. All right, so step number 4 is reading your opponent. This might not work at the higher levels as much, but I know in your local leagues, this will work. So you want to take a step back and kind of look at what your opponent's doing. If he just laid up a bag short, he's gonna automatically take a step out from the board, and you know he wants to go for that push shot. So by knowing that they want to take a push shot, you're gonna want to try to bully this bag out, because in their mind, they're already dead set on taking this push. So now they're gonna have to take a step back, rethink what they want to do, and you're gonna get in their head that way, doing it over and over and over. It's gonna frustrate them. Now, leading into that, if you can see your opponent's getting frustrated, take advantage of that. And if they're getting mad and you notice that, take advantage of their weaknesses. If you need to lay a block and that keeps frustrating them, do it over and over and over, because their game's gonna go downhill from there. And I know that just by experience. It gets people triggered and they start throwing it hard, they miss left and right, and then you got into their head, and now you're pretty much gonna win the match as long as you stay consistent. With reading your opponent, tempo. Tempo is a big thing, and I cannot stress this enough. There are some players that like to throw fast, and there's some players that like to take a long time. So a lot of the times, if opponent's just ripping them in there, he's just one after another, she's just nailing every shot, slow down your tempo. You get up to 12 seconds to release the bag, or at least be in motion. So you could take your time, kind of just step out, shake your bag, flip it, take your time, let them think about their next shot before they take it. Because when you know you're in the zone, you're not thinking very much. But as soon as you make them sit there and think about their next shot, that's when they'll miss. So let's head into the last tip I have for you guys, and that'll be step number 5. So the last and final step I have for you guys is consistency. All you have to do, if you want to get good at this game, truly or not, is play a lot. Practice at least 1 to 2 hours a day, maybe take a day off a week. I play Monday through Saturday, pretty much just try to practice as much as I can. Find people to throw with, whether they're better than me or not. They're still putting bags on the board and making me come up with shots that I need to be able to hit in games. Consistency is one of the biggest things in Cornhole if you want to get good at this game. That's gonna be my list for the top 5 tips to get better at Cornhole. I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I'll see you in the next one. Comment down below other tips that you guys want to see me break down and make videos on. But other than that, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.